I've got this set up on, not a fancy stand, just a ladder. I've zip tied my wire frame that I made using just torn off rose leaves. After we were stripping our roses, I saved that so that I could fill the inside of this sort of chicken wire roll. I soak that so it's got a good water source, and then I just put in 10 stems of the silver dollar eucalyptus and 15 stems of my huck. Doing this mechanic for a pickup wedding is very easy. I know that this is absolutely okay to DIY, for them to put this up on the arbor themselves. I don't have to do a delivery and setup. Some of this local PG hydrangea that I'm not tubing anything. I've used this mechanic many times and have never had a problem with wilting, but I'm also very selective about the types of flowers that I put in it. And if I'm going to use something that's prone to wilting, I will tube them. The first thing I do is, I account for my mechanics that I have in it. I charged $15 for this chicken wire roll because it took me time to make it and to soak it. So you always want to be accounting for your time. I wanted to put this calcynea heather. I knew I wanted to put some of the local hydrangea and some Playa Blanca roses and some white majolicas. So I take what I consider to be a conservative amount of each stem. So I started with 3, then 5, and just kept adding. So I saw how much money I had left. When all was said and done with my math and what I had allotted for it, I still have about $14 left. So I always leave a little bit of extra money at the very end to come back in and decide, okay, maybe I need one more calcynea heather, or maybe I, only need 4 stems of calcynea heather and I had, originally allotted 5. I can switch that over to an additional row. Well, I want to avoid being really polka dotty with my focals. I also know that I only have, I think, 5 that I'm using. So I want to be really specific about making sure that I get them in those pockets that don't have any flowers. Harder it is to get in, the better for me, because that means it's definitely nothing's coming out. So I've got this one final rose, and I definitely see 2 areas that I need some flowers. I see one there, and I see one over here, but knowing that I've got some spray roses to work with, I think I'm going to opt to put it down here. And I'll just come through and finish up with my spray roses. I'm just coming back in. Got some of these smaller pieces of the hydrangea, and I'm just going to plug them in, if they have a long enough stem, into some of these pockets to make sure my mechanics are hidden. Some final edits. It can be tempting to want to stick in just one more flower and make it perfect. But you're running a business, work with what you already have into it. You have a hole, find another spot that's maybe got a little bit more than what it needs, and use what you have. You can cut out some of your greenery. Again, that's why I kind of go a little bit over and set my perimeter first with my greens. I think I can get rid of this piece. I'm nervous to cut it though. Find if there are any really super big sticks that are poking out the back, I'll kind of trim them down. So when they get here, I will show them where I feed the zip ties through. So I will cut down these small ones, but I will also insert unattached zip ties into those points through the chicken wire so that they know exactly where the hanging points are. And that is how you do a pick-up wedding arbor piece for your micro wedding brides.